a very good afternoon and thank you for being present here. My name is Daksh Sethi. I'm on a mission to make India's youth a better version of themselves. A little bit about me. I'm a visiting faculty. I work with colleges, with universities pan-India. I'm also a soft skills trainer. One of the key areas where I've been working around pan-India, post-pandemic and during, of course, the pandemic. I'm also a Josh Talk speaker. Recently, one of my videos came out on YouTube. Do have a look. Just a quick plug-in. Educational consultant. I've been working with school students, with college students and working professionals pan-India. I've been guiding them, helping them with higher education, getting ready for the real corporate world. An entrepreneur. So interestingly, not only am I training them for the real corporate world, I also have my own startup. So I chose not to get into the corporate world myself. I train them for that, but I have my own organization. Some of my team members are here. And thank you everyone for being present here once again. Gooby Rogers is the pronunciation before you interpret it in your own way. Gooby Rogers, a youth-driven organization, and we work with, again, colleges and universities pan-India. An important term we'll be talking about today, youth. But before we get into the category of youth, it's important to define who actually falls in the category of youth. So most of us sitting here will be a part of this category. It has been defined by the National Youth Policy of India 2014, although it's 2014, 7 years back, but the definition hasn't changed yet. It defines youth in India as any person belonging to the age bracket of 15 to 29 years. My audience, these are the people who I cater to, pan-India, school students, college students, working professionals, and job seekers. And all of them fall into this age bracket. Now, I'll be talking to you about one really important lesson that I've learned, something that I've been able to experience myself. I've already spoken about so many events, so many workshops, training programs that I've done. I've been fortunate enough to conduct these training workshops in Tier 1 colleges, Tier 2 colleges, Tier 3 colleges, in Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3 cities. From any possible undergrad, postgrad degree that you can think of, I've been able to interact with them on a personal level. And when I've conducted these sessions, there are questions that have come up. I have been asked these questions. And these are the top 6 questions which I could think of and I could remember and I could put it up in front of you. How bad is the job market out there? Which skills are the most trending? What should I do if I'm confused about my career? What does a recruiter look for? Should I get into data science or digital marketing? Now, this is somebody who has nothing to do with data science or digital marketing, but just because people are talking about it, there are so many courses out there, it's very well paid, a hot topic, should I also get into it? Where do I get more clarity for career options? How many of us here sitting in this auditorium have similar questions? Can I get a show of hands? With the last 6 questions which I saw, yes, you can look around, there are a lot of hands being raised. And these questions have come from Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3 cities. I was fortunate enough to work with the best commerce college in the country a few weeks back. Same questions come. And these questions are asked, like I said, by people from pretty much every course and degree. Now, these questions lead to 4 primary problems that I could identify. And I have numbers to justify that. Career-related anxiety, irregular sleeping patterns, feeling of not being good enough, and feeling of lack of required skills. How many people in the audience face any of these 4 problems? Can I get a show of hands? This is even a bigger number. You can have a look. And I want to bring to you a story of a second-year Delhi University student. Now, this is April of 2020, last year. I was over a consultation call. She's from one of the best colleges of this university, of Delhi University. And she was over a consultation call. She was the BCom honors. She was in second year, so she would have been getting into her third year. Placement season aane wala tha. She was really confused. And she opened up. And she spoke to me about, so kya karna chahiye? These are the things that I've done. What does COVID have in store for us? Ek semester hamara bahar ho gaya. What do I do in order to make my resume impactful, etc., etc., etc. And while she was talking, she broke down. And she started crying. Walks in her mother. She sits next to her. She looks at me into the camera, the laptop, and she said, "ये बहुत परेशान है, खाना नहीं खाती है ढंग से, सोती नहीं है ढंग से, बहुत घबराहट है, panic attacks आते हैं," and her mother broke down. And this was the first experience out of the 12 such consultation calls which I've experienced so far in the last 18 months. There was just the first incident. I've had 12 such calls where people have broken down in front of me because of the 4 problems that I spoke about. Now you would say, sir, ये तो 1-2 incidents है, शायद हमारे साथ नहीं होगा. How many people face such problems? This is one question, right? You might not have done this, you might not have experienced this, but I have a solution for this. So there is something that I did. I rolled out a Google form. I received 544 responses in a matter of 24 hours, and I had to shut down, I had to close the form. How many in the audience filled up the Google form? Sitting in the audience. Backstage? Yeah? All right, a lot of you did fill up the Google form because I had circulated it primarily through Instagram stories, and I had also circulated among the team, the TEDxCVS team as well. And something that I want to bring to your notice, something I want to bring to your knowledge is, I'll be coming to that point, but this is the demography that I want to bring across. 18 to 25, this is the age category that I was targeting because I had rolled out the Google form pretty much in the college community. 508, 93.4% of my target audience was in this age category. Which of the three describes you best? Student, graduate looking for a job, working professional. Now, again, self-explanatory, 66 are students, 101 are graduates, still looking for a job, working professionals, 84. Now, I could sense some problem when I was going through the responses, and I want to bring to your knowledge about one particular question that really blew me away. The question was, which of the following psychological problems have you faced because of the pandemic? Options: work-related stress, anxiety; career-related stress or anxiety, depression; sleep-related problems; feeling of not being good enough, panic attacks; feeling of having of lack of required skills; social media anxiety; relationship stress; feeling of being confined. The top 4 responses were career-related stress, we had sleep-related problems, we had feeling of not being good enough, and feeling of having lack of required skills. Now, most of you did, as I saw the show of hands, most of you did fill up the Google form. You know what you wrote. You are not alone. And this is the response which I want to bring to your knowledge. This is not just an eye-opener for me, but also an eye-opener for you, and should be an eye-opener for you. Now that we know that we are undergoing some psychological problem, what do? We seek help, right? Why? Because a problem well defined is half solved, right? A problem well defined is half solved. So let's see. Now that people know what problems that they have, were they able to find the solutions? The next slide, please, Daksh. Have you consulted a psychologist for any of the problems that you face? This slide, the only color that you would probably see is white and red. 512 out of 544 who did not seek any kind of help. That's 94.1%. That's the board cutoff that you require to get into CVS. That's an eye-opener. You know there's a problem, but 94% did not take any kind of psychological help. Career-related problem, sleep, anxiety, feeling of not being good enough, and you were not able to voice out. Now, let's talk about the career-related problems. Of course, psychological problems हो सकती हैं, सबको शायद से ना भी हो, but career-related problems, let's also boil it down to something that I cater to. I cater to career-related problems. Unfortunately, this market is on the rise. I'm not happy about it. Yes, I'm the problem solver for this problem, but this is one problem that should not exist. Do you feel that there is lack of clarity with respect to how a student should approach his or her career decision-making process, especially after the lockdown? 8 out of 10 say definitely. Do you think that there's a gap, there is lack of clarity with respect to how a student should do it? 8 out of 10 say definitely. This is another major problem area. Again, a problem area which I cater to. I hoped that this number would be below 4, below 3. It's 8 out of 10. It's virtually everyone. Do you feel a level of uncertainty with respect to your career path? Again, a very similar question, but with respect to your career path. This is a very individual and a very personal question. 8 out of 10 agree. Yes, I have lack of clarity. There's an uncertainty with respect to where I'm headed, what I'm going to be doing. And this is the age bracket 18 to 25, because 93% of them were there. Do you feel that there has been a lack of personal growth for you? A broader subject. Personal growth can be not just career related, but personality wise, confidence wise, physical fitness wise. There are so many aspects, so many things so many ways of looking at it. 7 out of 10 agree. 7 out of 10 feel that there has been a lack of personal growth because of the pandemic. Again, now that we know there's been a problem, there is something that is not wrong. We know the problem. A problem well defined is half solved. So let's see, did it actually help? Do you have a mentor in life, a non-family member, someone with whom you share your personal and professional life? A mentor, somebody with whom you will be sharing your personal and professional life. It does not have to be a psychologist, but somebody, a non-family member, somebody who's non-judgmental, who will listen to you. Non-family member, why? Because they will have a personal bias towards your decisions and the way they'll be talking to you. You need somebody unbiased. You need somebody to tell you the truth and be blunt to your face. 7 out of 10 don't have it. Don't have that individual. This is a huge problem. This is this very same Google form that most of you filled out. If you said no, then you're not alone. 7 out of 10. One important question that I also added to the Google form was that, is there anything else that you would want to tell me with respect to your career-related and education problems because of the pandemic? I was taken aback by the 544 responses that I got, but I was able to shortlist a few. Stagnancy in growth career. Now, of course, you will find a few grammatical errors. Why? Because I've literally copy-pasted that. I haven't even corrected grammar because this is how authentic, how genuine this is. Stagnancy in growth career, health anxiety, the stoppage in personal professional growth and experience needed for a student who has just completed school, lack of mentors to give me career-specific information, difficulty in deciding the career is the main problem. I'm having these various interests rising, but I don't know what to do. Lack of commitments to my goals, family health and financial problems, not being able to find the right opportunities, and the list goes on. But stop. This is there, it's there. But we need to do something. We need to pause for our own cause. We've been able to identify the problem. And there is something called the root cause identification through introspection. This is the solution statement which I want to bring across. We need to pause, we need to stop, we need to talk to ourselves, we need to talk to somebody, identify the root cause. Root cause, jad tak jana, problem hai kahan pe. Identify that through introspection. Only you can do that when you talk to yourself or you talk to somebody about yourself. The solutions, find a mentor. Easier said than done. Kahan se dhoondenge sir? A mentor is somebody who should be ideally twice your age, an expert in their respective career field, something that you're also interested in. Somebody who has credibility, somebody who's a good listener, like I said, non-biased, non-judgmental, who would listen to you and would give you an unbiased opinion. I found my mentor in my gym. I was working out with him for over 2.5 years. There came a point in life where I needed some guidance. I knew that my immediate family was not the right kind of people to go to. In the gym itself, I spoke to him. I said, Bhaiya, right? So we don't call uncles, although he's twice my age. In the gym, we don't call uncles, we say Bhaiya. And I said that, Bhaiya, I just wanted to talk to you about something, when can we sit? And he was more than happy to help me out. And he said, this is the date, this is the time, let's have coffee. I spoke to him for 20 minutes. He didn't say a word. He gave me a reply. For 40 minutes, I did not say a word. My problem was solved. Why? Because I found a mentor. And this was not the only mentor that I have. I have multiple, I have many of them, in various domains, in various fields, who have different perspective to things. But they give me a non-judgmental, a non-biased opinion, unbiased opinion. And this is exactly what you should be looking at. Seek professional guidance. Psychological problems, remember the 94.1%? You have to seek professional guidance. A psychologist, a counselor, call them up, ring them up, drop them a message. Google करोगे, आसपास के psychologists आपको पता चल जाएंगे. Psychology honors is such a renowned course today. There are so many people getting into this profession. Talk to somebody from a college who's doing this, who's pursuing this course. They will know somebody 100% who is a clinical psychologist or is a counselor. Seek guidance, seek help. You will need it, and there's no shame in doing it. And this is where we pause for our own cause, get into the root cause and identification through introspection. This can happen only when you are willing to do it. Talk to experts. These are the experts that I'm talking about. Call them up, drop them a message. It starts from you. You are your biggest weapon, and you understand yourself better than anyone else out there. And you are here to make it big in life. It starts from you. My name is Daksh Sethi, the Wolf of Job Street, your soft skills trainer. Thank you, TEDxCVS, for inviting me. You've been a lovely audience. Jai Hind.